Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Don Huli. Today a new niche is born on my channel, and henceforth I'm going to be solving mathematics questions with you with the use of the calculator. We are going to solve everything just with the calculator. I'm not going to use anything. And if you want to become a pro with the use of the calculator, there is a crash course in the description box below. There's a link there. Just click on the link and purchase the PDF of my book named Calculator Wizard. Trust me, after buying this book, when you grab mathematics, they are going to mafia it, being it subjective or objective. But today I'm coming to help you to break down or solve all objective questions under the 2019 May-June or Wassce objective paper. Okay, so I do not have access to the full questions, but I got a few of them from online sources because I couldn't get the main paper. So we are coming to solve everything, and day by day I'll be giving you more questions, or I'll be helping to solve more Wassce questions just with a calculator. Now let's go right into the video. So this is my calculator here with a screen here, and every operation that I'll do here will display here. So if in case you are lost, the keys will be here. So that's why we have a key log here, and then this is my question paper. So we are starting. So before I start with everything, I have to make sure that I clear my calculator so that any errors in the calculator, I get rid of it. And for me to do that, I just click on shift number 9 number 3 equal to, and then AC. Then my calculator is fully set and ready for the work. Now let me clear this part too. Alright, so question 2, another 2019 objective paper states as what? We should evaluate 0.064 exponent minus 1 over 3. So all that I'll do now is to open my bracket and input 0.0664, close the bracket. Then I'll press on the S power here. Then I have what? Minus, then I'll bring the divisional sign here. Then 1 over what? 3. Then I press equal to. When I press equal to, right, that the answer came straightforward. We have what? 5 over 2. So in this case, my answer is A. In this case, my answer is A. Now let's go to question 3. Question 3, we are asked to solve what? Y plus 1 all over 2 minus 2y minus 1 all over 3 is equal to 4. Mind you, if you're inputting this into the calculator and you input y into the calculator doesn't understand it. It takes it as a figure, it doesn't take it as a variable. So in this case, I'm going to replace the value of y, I'm going to replace y by x. So I'll now input the equation I have here directly into the calculator, just like that. So let's go. I'll go in by clicking on the equal sign, the divisional sign here first. Then I'll input what? My x plus 1. So now my y is now x. So I have what? X. So alpha plus the close bracket plus 1. Cursor down all over 2. Then I bring my minus here. Then I bring the divisional sign again. I have what? 2x, which initially should be 2y, minus 1 all over 3. And that will be equal to 4. So I'll click on alpha and then cal, which is calculate, then 4. So after inputting this right into the calculator, if I press equal to, I'm not going to get an answer. We are asked to solve. Alright, so for the calculator to solve it for us to have the answer first, just to click on shift and then cal. You could see that I have what? Solve displaying on top of the car here. So you click on shift and then click on cal. Then you have what? Solve for x, at which the value of x is what? 0. So just press on equal to, then it gives us the value of x to be what? Minus 19. I have a lot of this kind of solving on my pen drive. You can buy a pen drive. I have the video of how to make accurate use of the calculator itself also on pen drive. You can DM me just in the description box, and then you buy the pen drive and sit down in your house, put it in your decoder, and sit down and set to studying. Alright, you have to master the calculator to its maximum. Now let's move straight to question 4. Alright, so we are now asked to solve what? Simplify correct to 3 significant figures. This value here, 27.63 exponent 2 all squared minus 12.37 squared. So all that I have to do first is click on what? AC. After that, I input it directly into the calculator like that. So I have what? 27.63 squared minus 12.37 squared. Mind you, this is differences of 2 squared. So if in case you don't know and you just input it like that, or you use your mind to do the calculation like that, you won't get the answer. It's differences of 2 squared. So if you want to solve it systematically, you have to use differences of 2 squared. So after inputting like this, all that I have to do is to click on what? Equal to, and then it gives me the answer. Now we are asked to leave our answer in 3 significant figures. So when we have our answer in a fraction form, mine is just to click on x is mapping, and the same mapping down to d, which is standard to decimal. So as I click on it, it gives us what? 610.4. But we are asked to leave it in 3 significant figures. So I have to leave my answer as what? 610. So in this case, my answer is what? D. My answer is D. Now let's move to question 7. Still I click on my AC and then I move on. Question 7, I asked to evaluate log of 9 base 3 minus log of 8 base 2 all over log of 9 base 3. Alright, so all that I have to do now is to input it into the calculator. Mind you, if you're using this log here, it won't give you the answer because this log here is up to base 10. So if in case you have base 10, then you can use this one. By this one, we have the base less than 10. So you're going to press on what? The log here. So before we start that, we have to first bring the divisional sign. Then we bring what? Log of, we have base 3 here. Then we have the log itself 9. Then we subtract log of 8 base 2 from it. Log of 8 base 2. So we have the numerator inputted. So now let's input the denominator. We have the denominator to be what? Log of 9 base 3. So we have log of 9 base 3. So after inputting like this, straightforward, let's press equal to and get the answer. So we just click on what? Equal to, and it gives us the answer. So the answer is what? Minus half, or minus 1 over 2, which is D. Which is D. Okay, so now let's move on straight to question 10. Question 10. Question 10 says we should evaluate 2 roots of 28 minus 3 roots of 50 plus roots of 72. Okay, so all I have to do is to input it into the calculator. So I have what? 2 roots of 28 minus, mind you, if you do not click on the cursor out button, if you input any value, it's going to be another root again. So you'll be getting it wrong. So I have what? Minus 3 roots of 50, then plus root of 72. So after inputting it, mine to click on what? The equal sign, and then boom, my answer is up here displaying. So my answer is what? 4 root of 7 minus 9 root of 2. So I just look into the alternative here. So I have here 4 root of 7 minus 9 root of 2. So my answer is C. My answer is C. So now let's move to question 11 directly. So in this particular question, it's being given in a proportion form. So before we start solving the question, you have to make some deductions. Okay, so you have what? If m is to n is equal to 2 is to 1, then you're asked to evaluate the expression 3m squared minus 2n squared, that expression all over m squared plus mn. Okay, so what you're supposed to do now is to find a value for m and n. Since we don't have n on the calculator, but we have m. So what we'll do now is to change the value of m as x and then the value of n as y. But before we do that, you have to know the value for m and then the value for n. So we'll write this expression as what? M over n will be equal to 2 over 1. So proportionally, we have m to be equal to 2 and then n to be equal to 1. So now let's store these particular values into the calculator. So now all that we have to do now to store the value of m first, which is 2. And we are storing that to x. So we have what? You click on x here, and then we have the value of 2 to be stored to s. Then we have the value of m to be stored to s, which is 2. So now let's go forward and store the value of n, which is 1. So we click on 1, then we store it to y. Okay, so we have the value of y stored to y. So now all we have to do now is to input this expression into the calculator first. So you have to bring the divisional sign here. Then we have what? 3m, which is s squared minus 2n squared. Mind you, we have the value of m to be what? S, and then the value of y to be n. Okay, so this expression over m plus m squared plus mn plus mn. So we have this done already. Mind you, there are two different ways of solving it. So this particular one, I have stored the value of each figure or each alphabet into the calculator before inputting it. So when I'm done like this, mine is just to click on what? Equal to, and then it gives me the answer. So my answer is what? 5/3. 5/3, which is B, And the same way you can do it this way. After inputting the values into the calculator like this, or after inputting the expression into the calculator like this, you click on what? Cal. So when you click on cal, it asks for the value of S, which is 2. Then to ask for the value of Y, which is 1. And then click on equal to, and then it gives you the same answer. So there are two different ways of solving this particular question. So now let's move to the next question, question 13. Okay, question 13. We are asked to solve. We have been given a quadratic equation or polynomial function of degree of 2, and we are asked to solve for the value of x. So all that we have to do here is to go into the quadratic mode or the equation mode, and then we solve for the value of x. So now let's do that. We click on mode, we click on number 5, which is equation, we click on number 3, which is quadratic equation. So we have a quadratic equation here. So we go straight forward and start solving our question. So we already, the equation that is, or the way the calculator understands this particular thing is as squared plus bs plus c is equal to 0. The value of x, a is the figures, or the value of the alphabet is the various figures we have in the equation. So we are now going to input only the coefficient of x into the calculator. So you have the first one to be 4, then the value of b to be minus 16, then we have the value of c to be what? 15. Then we press equal to, again. So you have the first value of x to be what? 5/2. Then we have the second value of x to be what? 3/2. But mind you, we are not asked to leave the answer in a fraction form. We're asked to leave it in an improper fraction form. So we have to get the answers in improper fraction form. So you click on shift, and then this here. So we have what? The first one to be what? 2 whole number 1/2. So we look to the equation, or we look to the alternative and find where we can find 2 whole number 1/2. So we have here, so this is likely to be our answer. So we have what? 2 whole number 1/2. So now let's look at the second one too. So we have what? 1 whole number 1/2. So B is our answer. So we have what? 1 whole number 1/2 or 2 whole number 1/2 to be our answer for question 13, which is B. So select B, and then you move on. So now let's move to question 14. Question 14. But mind you, we have done the calculation and we are in what? Equation mode. If you want to go back, just click on mode and click on number 1. Then we are back to the normal calculation mode or the general calculation mode. All right. So all that you have to do here now is to input the figures of question 14 to the calculator. You are asked to what? Evaluate 0.42 divided by 2.5. That expression over 0.5 multiplied by 2.05. And we have to leave the answer in a standard form. All right. We have to leave the answer in a standard form. So all we have to do now is to fit the figures into the calculator first. So first we bring our divisional sign here. Then all that we have to do is what? We input the fraction, or we input the question into the calculator. So we have what? 0.42 divided by 2.5. And this expression all divided by what? 0.5 multiplied by 2.05. And this is the answer, or this is the question being given to us. So after inputting it, we click on equal to. We have our answer here, so we have to convert it into what? The decimal form. So we click on what? The standard to decimal sign here. Then we have what? 0.16290 going in a decimal form. So all we have to do now is to change the equation back to the standard form. Okay, we have to send it back to the standard form, and that can be done with the engineering notation here. So you could see we are having it there, but this case is not going to work for us like that. So we are going to make use of the significant figures. Okay, we are going to make use of the significant figures, or we are going to make use of the scientific mode. So you are going to click on shift, click on mode, which is the setup. Then we go to what? Significant figures, number 7. So then after that we click on what? We want it at what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want it at what? 4 significant figures. So we want to have 4 figures displayed on the screen. So click on 4, then press equal to, then we have our answer here. So you could say we have the same figures as what is being written for us. So we have what? 1.639 times 10 exponent minus 1. So we look through it. So you could see that our answer is what? C. We have what? 1.639 times 10 exponent minus 1, which is the same thing we have here. So our answer is what? C. Our answer is C. So now let's move to question 15. So all I have to do first is to clear the calculator screen by pressing AC. Then after that, I have to make sure that I reset my calculator from the scientific mode. Okay, because the scientific mode now is now at a decimal place of 1. So any calculation you do, it will be giving you the answer in a decimal form. Just look at it. It will give me the answer in a decimal form, and I don't want that. So I have to clear the screen like this, or I just have to reset it from the setup straightforward. So question 15 reads, simplify log of 6 base 10 minus 3 log of 3 base 10 plus 2 over 3 log of 27 base 10. Okay, so this, you can make use of this, the log straight here, because this has a base of 10. Or if you want to be writing the base yourself and be wasting time, then you make use of this one. But in this case, I'm going to make use of this because it's already in base 10. So you have what? Log of 6 base 10 minus 3 log of 3 base 10 plus 2 over 3 log of 27 base 10. Log of 27 base 10. Then I close the bracket, press equal to, and gives me my answer. So I have the answer to be what? 0.3010299957. But then we don't have the answers here to be 0.3010. So all we have to do now is test the answers we have here. So we are going to input each answer into the calculator back and make sure that we have what? 0.3010 as our answer. Then we know that is our answer. So we start first with A. So we have 3 log of 2. First we click, put it, no, we don't have the answer. I have a 0.9030. We are looking for 0.3010. So we go to number 2, log of 2. Then we click on this. So we have what? 0.3010. So B is our answer to question 15. B is our answer to question 15. Alright. So now let's move on to the next question, which is question 17. So question 17 reads, if 3p is equal to 4q and 9p is equal to 8q minus 12, find the value of pq. So in this case, I have to rewrite the equation back into a simultaneous equation form before we can solve this particular equation or this particular question with a calculator. Mind you, we have what? 3p is equal to 4q. So if you have this, you have to rewrite it back into simultaneous equation form, which will be what? 3p minus 4q is equal to 0. So that's what we have here. 3p minus 4q is equal to 0. Then we have what? 9p is equal to 8q minus 12. Alright, so we have to rewrite this in a simultaneous equation form. So we have what? 9p, this will cross the equal to sign to become a negative. So we have what? Minus 8q is equal to what? Minus 12. So equation 2. So for us to get the answer easily, we have to make use of the equation function of the calculator to get the answer on point. So we just click on mode 5, and then we have the simultaneous equation to be what? Equation 1 or point 1. So you click on this to have equation 1, equation 2. So all that you have to do now is to input the coefficient into the calculator. So you have what? The coefficient of b is what? 3. So you have 3. Then the coefficient of q is what? -4. Then we have all of this to be equal to what? 0. Then we go to come down to the next line. So you have what? The coefficient of p is what? 9. Then we have the coefficient of q to be what? -8. Then we have all of this to be equal to what? -12. So if you have this to be equal to -12, all that we have to do now is to have our answer by clicking on what? Equal to. So you click on equal to, we have the value of p to be what? -4. Then we have the value of q to be what? -3. So all that you have to do now is to go back and multiply. So you have -4 multiplied by -3. And this gives us 12. So our answer here is what? A. Our answer is what? A. So now let's move to question 18. Question 18. So question 18 reads, if 0.25 power y is equal to 32, we are asked to find the value of y. This is very simple. So all that you have to do now is to input this into the calculator just as it is. So you have what? 0.25 power y. The y will not write it y because the calculator doesn't understand y. If you write y, it pick it as 0. So you're going to input x in place of y. And all of this is equal to what? 32. If this is equal to 32, then simplest way we can solve this is to click on what? Shift and then cal. So it will ask us to solve for the value of x. So you click on equal to and wait for a while. The calculator will manipulate itself and give you the answer. So the answer is what? -2.5, which is -5 over 2. -5 over 2. So you have what? -2.5 will give you what? 5 over 2. -5 over 2. So our answer is what? A. So the value of what? Y is what? A. So now let's move to question 23. Question 23. So now question 23 reads, if 2 exponent a is equal to root of 64 and b over a is equal to 3, we are asked to evaluate the value of what? A squared plus b squared. Alright. So all that you have to do first is to find the value of a. And this is we are going to take the same approach just like we have taken for question 18 to get the value of a in this case. So we have what? 2 square s, 2 power s. Alright, 2 power s will be equal to root of 64. Root of 64. So after inputting this into the calculator, we click on what? Shift and then cal, which is solve. Then we press equal to. So our answer is what? 3. So you have the value of a to be what? 3. The value of a to be 3. And then we have what? B over a is equal to 3. So we are finding the value of b. So we now multiply, we cross multiply. So this is divided by 1. The 3 here is divided by 1. So 1 multiplied by b will give us b. Then 3 multiplied by a will give us what? 3a. But we have the value of a to be what? 3. So we have b will be equal to what? 9. So b will be equal to what? 9. So if b is equal to 9, then we have what? A plus b squared. So we have a will be equal to what? 3 squared plus the value of b, which is 9 squared. Then we press equal to. So our answer is what? 90. 90. So the value or the answer for question 23 is what? C, which is 90. C, which is 90. So now let's move on and solve for question 25. Okay, so question 25 reads, if log of 2 base x is equal to 0.3, then we are asked to evaluate log of 8 base s. Okay, so all that you have to do now first is to find the value of s. So we are going to input this into the calculator just like the way it is. So we click on the log here, then bring the base x, then we bring the 2, and all of that will be equal to 0.3. Then we solve for it. So click on shift and then cal, which will give us solve. The value for x to be 0. Then we wait for a while for the calculator to solve for the value of s. Okay, so to solve for the value of x. So the calculator is done solving for the value of x, and the value of s is what? 10, which is 10.07936. So the value of what? X is 10. So just input this back into the calculator. So we can input it like this. So we have what? Log of base 10, then log of 8. So we click on equal to and gives us our answer. So our answer is what? 0.9030, which is the same as the value of C. So our answer is what? C for question 25. Our answer is what? C. Okay. So now let's move on to question 37. Question 37 is trigonometry. So we are asked to solve for, or we are told if tan x is equal to 3/4 at a range of 0 less than x less than 90 degrees. We are asked to solve for the cos of x divided by 2 sine x. Mind you, we have been limited, okay? So the value of s, or the angle we are supposed to get, or the angle within which we are supposed to work, should be less than 90 degrees. If you get anything more than 90 degrees, or using any value more than 90 degrees, it means that the answer you are getting is wrong. The answer you are getting is wrong. So now let's solve. So we have what? Tan x will be equal to 3/4. Then we solve for it, and then we find for the value of, so the value you have for the angle, or with the value you have for s, is what? 36.87, because of the rounding of the 9 here. So you have what? 36.87. So we are going to use 36.87 to solve for cos of x divided by 2 sine x. So we are going to input this into the calculator. So we have what? Cos of x, which is 36.87, divided by 2 sine x, which is 36.87. Then we press equal to. So you have what? 0.66666. So now that we have 0.6667, which is not the same as the values we have here, and converting this back into the fraction form, directly into the fraction form, because of the number of decimal places we have. So all that we have to do is to check through the values here and make sure that we get a value, or we get an answer that when we input we can get to 0.667. And if you realize that you input this, you are going to get more than, we are going to get 2 point something. This also can also go into this 1 point something. This can also go into this 1 point something, and it's only D that is left as an alternative for us to choose. Okay, so when you input 2/3 into the calculator, we have 0.66666 something. All right, 0.66 recurring, which means that our answer is what? D. Our answer is what? D. So now let's move to question 42. Question 42, and we are asked to calculate for the variance of the figures here, of the data here. So we are going straight into the statistic mode. We click on 3, then we select one variable calculation. So we input the values here into the calculator now. So I'm inputting them. We just press on 2 and press equal to input the various values into the calculator. So you have 2 in the inputted, 4 inputted, 7 inputted, 8 inputted, and then 9 inputted. So after inputting this into the calculator, just click on AC, then click on Shift, and then click on the distribution here, which is 1. So after that, we go to various variable calculation, which is number 4. Then we find the standard deviation first, which is number 3. And we know that the square of the standard deviation gives us the variance. So we just square the standard deviation. This is the standard deviation, so we square it, and then we get our variance, which is what? 6.8. So the value, or the variance of this particular figure here, is what? 6.8, which is B. Isn't this too awesome? Charlie, don't waste time. Just go to the description box and buy the calculator. You can buy that through Momo. Okay, when you buy it, sit down and learn. Master the calculator like a pro, and trust me, you will never regret spending the little money you have to buy this book. Or just contact me and then buy the pen drive. Okay, buy the pen drive just at a small amount and learn how to use the calculator to its maximum. Let's go on. So now let's go on to question 48, 49, and 50. And this is also a statistical problem. So they say the following are the score obtained by some student in a test. And then we are being given the values here. So we are asked to use this question to solve question 48 to 50. And looking through, we are asked to find the mode of the distribution. So the mode is the most occurring number in the distribution. So looking through, we could find which number is the most occurring. We have 18, and it's only 2. We have 13, 1, 2, 3. We have 3, 13, and then that's all. So the two most occurring number is what? 18 and 13, and 13 dominates, so 13 is the mode of the distribution. And we are asked to find a median score. So the median score, we are going to find that using the calculator. So just go back straight to the statistical mode. And input all these values into the calculator. So we have what? 8 inputted, we have 18 inputted, 10 inputted, 14 inputted, 18 inputted, 11 inputted, 13 there, 14 there, 13 there, 17 there, 15 there, 8 there, 16 there, then 13 there. Okay, so we have all the values inputted into the calculator. Mind you, the little mistake you make or the omission of a figure would cause your total answer to be very wrong. Okay, so you have to make sure that you input everything accurately. So rather I've inputted what? 14 figures. So let me count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So multiply by 2, I have 14. So it means that I've inputted everything correctly. So I'll click on AC. So I'll go to the distribution and then I'll click on what? Shift and then 1, which is the distribution. Then I'll go into the distribution again. Then I'll select number 6. And selecting number 6, we have what? Number 4 to be median. Number 4 to be what? We are looking for the median. So the median score. So we have number 4 to be the median. So we click on number 4. Then we press equal to. So our median mark is what? 13.5. 13.5. So C is our answer here. Okay, so after finding the median score, we move to question 50, which reads how many students score above the mean mark? Okay, how many students score above the mean mark? So all that you have to do now is to find the mean of the data first. So we click on shift, then we come to distribution number 1, then we go to number 4, which is variance calculation, to find the mean, and then we have the mean to be number 2. Then we click on equal to, so you have the mean to be what? 13.4285. okay, so which is still below, so all those who have below 13.4 or those who have below 13 are all below the mean mark, so they are not part of the students that score above the mean mark. So you are going to calculate for 14 and above, those who have scored 14 and above, and you have 18 here, which is above. We have 14, which is above. 18 is above, and we have 14 is above. We have 17 above, 15 above, and 16 above. So now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you have 7 students that score above the mean marks, which is 7. So our answer is what? D. So we have come to the end of the lesson. I believe you've actually enjoyed this lesson to its maximum. Trust me, if you buy the course or you buy the book, you are not going to regret it. Subscribe to the channel and recommend the channel to at least a member. And if you are fortunate that you bought a pen drive, it won't be bad if you go to YouTube to subscribe to my channel and then learn a lot. If you want to buy any of the educational things, maybe being a checker, you want to check your result, buy your university form, or do anything, I got you covered. All that you have to do is what? Pick up my number displayed on your screen or check the description box and inbox me, WhatsApp me, or email me. I'll be very, very glad to assist you in everything that you want, even being a guidance as to which program you pursue at the tertiary level or anything. I'll be very, very glad to assist you in everything. Until then, I'll see you in my next video. My name still remains Don Holy. Peace. I'm out.